This is the Fill Notes from the Proving, short reflections from inside the process of building a life that's earned, not perfected, earned. So at first, discipline is freedom. You start running, you feel stronger, clearer, more in control. But then one day, your watch starts grading you. And we know as runners, we fall into the Garmin runner trap, and the Garmin definitely judges you. And suddenly, everything has a number: miles, your pace, heart rate, cadence, trading zones, recovery time. Before you realize it, the thing that freed you quietly becomes another scoreboard. And this doesn't just happen to runners. It happens to the quiet builder chasing mastery, the disciplined rebel pushing beyond limits, the enduring professional carrying responsibilities every day. Soldiers, police officers, addiction survivors, anyone rebuilding their life. Because the moment improvement becomes visible, metrics show up. And these metrics can quietly turn any growth into a significant amount of pressure. By the time mid-October came for me, about another month before the half marathon at this point, something started to change for me. I recognized I was getting good. Yeah, I was getting faster and faster. September, like we said, was about discipline. We knew August was about like a hit or miss for me. October, I saw something. I saw myself getting faster. As I said, my peering started to change. I started to look and feel the part. And I started becoming a little bit more, not a little bit more. I became obsessed with performance. Not finishing, performance. Specifically, my track workouts on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, the plan called for intervals, speed work. And I wanted nothing more than to beat the time written in the plan. At one point, I was chasing a 6-minute mile or close to something to that. And every Tuesday, I would absolutely full throttle it, completely emptying the tank. Because in my head, faster intervals meant a stronger kick. A stronger kick meant a better race. And a better race meant the chance to beat someone, outpace someone, and of course, prove something. Somewhere inside that thinking, something quietly shifted because I was stopped competing with myself and I started competing with someone else. Now, who that person was, I don't even know. Maybe another runner, maybe the field, maybe the old self, but the scoreboard had quietly returned. You see, the strange thing about metrics is that they feel amazing when they go your way. It's almost like social media. You post something, it suddenly gets thousands of likes. You cook a meal, and everyone at the table raves about it. There's something incredibly satisfying about tangible proof for me. Like, you did it. People can see how good it is. The feedback is there. For me, the metrics feel exactly like that. A fast mile, a strong workout, a watch telling you that your pace dropped, your fitness is improved, your numbers go up. Proof that the effort worked, proof that the discipline mattered, proof that you're moving forward. And when you spent your entire life trying to improve, that feeling is so addictive. I know it did for me because now every run had a number, every workout had a score, every effort had a grade. And slowly the quiet discipline that started the journey began to turn into something else. If you recall, back in August of 2024, my goal was simple. I wanted to turn myself into my own best friend. That was the whole idea. Run. Clear my mind. Learn to trust myself again. But somewhere along that way, something strange happened. Instead of creating a best friend, I created an enemy. And that enemy wasn't another runner. It wasn't a watch, an AI coaching app, a number on a screen. Somewhere along the way, I stopped running for myself and started running against a machine. Nothing in my body, though, suggested failure. Nothing in my effort suggested even weakness. But the numbers started whispering something else. And to be fair, maybe it was that the race was getting closer, and maybe that I felt that the pressure was building, but certainly doubt started creeping in. And the strange part of all of this was, for months, I hadn't told anyone what I was doing. I kept that quiet progress. I didn't talk about the runs. I didn't show the workouts, but I saw improvement. Pace was dropping, endurance was climbing, my mood was better, energy was higher. Everything in my life on this quote scorecard was rising. And somehow the very system that helped me rebuild myself was starting to beat me up inside. And I found myself asking, did I just build the perfect setup for my own self-criticism? Ugh. And eventually another thought started to show up. And this one a little bit more dangerous. maybe the numbers really do define the work. Maybe the pace does determine the effort. Maybe the metrics do quantify the worth. That can't possibly be true, right? There has to be something else that measures hardship, intensity, growth. But in my mind at that time, the numbers were all I knew. For most of my life, validation came from something quantifiable: grades, scores, performance, comparison. I didn't realize it yet, but that pattern would eventually become one of my greatest Achilles heels. Because if you let the numbers define the worth of your work, then every fluctuation becomes judgment, and proving quietly turns back to pressure. And this is the moment that shows up for everyone eventually: the quiet builder, the disciplined rebel, the enduring professional, the soldier in training, the police officer preparing for uncertainty, the person counting sober days, the athlete coming back from injury, anyone inside the proving. Because metrics exist everywhere: promotions, PRs, paychecks, sobriety milestones, scoreboards. They all carry the same risk, letting the numbers define the worth of the work. During these months, I actually ran in the pouring rain, right before thunderstorms, in 90-degree heat, through humidity so thick that my shirt at the end could be wrung out like a towel. I ran after long work days, early in the morning, late at night. I climbed hills. I pushed through long runs. I ran on the treadmill for an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. I did everything that process required. And somehow, instead of seeing those experiences for what they were, all I cared about was what the watch said at the end of the day. The numbers will always be there, but real proof is who you become when no one's watching. And the work continues.